Hey, Wemberg World Entertainment, and Star Trek Starfleet Academy has had its premiere. They did a live premiere, walking the blue carpet. They always seem to put out a blue carpet for this thing for some reason, and it's not exactly gone over well. Especially the video for the premiere, which has been ratioed into oblivion. At time of this recording, the ratio on Star Trek and Paramount Plus, the conjoined YouTube channel, is 685 upvotes. Yeah, you were expecting me to say 1,000. No. Just 685 upvotes to 1.8 thousand downvotes. And it's no surprise, the comment section, by the way, absolutely is tearing this thing apart as well. But we have clips from this, and it just shows you everything that is wrong with current day Star Trek, especially when one of the producers describes it as sexy. That's what she's describing this show as. She's describing it as sexy, and Alex Kurtzman describes it as scary. It's like, what is going on? But a headline from Screen Rant, who viewed I believe it was the first 2 episodes they premiered at this event, says, Star Trek Starfleet Academy review. The kids are just okay in Gaia Velos, I think is how you pronounce her name, a school set comedy drama, because that's what you want to hear when you think of Star Trek. You know, the best of the best, exploration, hope, optimism, exploration to strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations. A school set comedy drama that the producers are saying is sexy and scary, because, yeah. Now, I think this might be the writer that they're talking about here, but this just shows you everything wrong with people who are working on current day Star Trek. Have a look at what she says here.
Talk Starfleet Academy. You have a writer credit, you have a producer credit. What are you excited for fans and Trekkies to know about this new batch of cadets? Starfleet Academy has been such a huge part of the Star Trek franchise. Yeah. We're finally getting a moment to talk about it. What are you excited to share to fans?
I am excited for the fans to dissect absolutely everything that they hate.
Yep. They will do that.
It is.
Alright, so her reaction was, I can't wait for fans to dissect it and say everything they hate about it. And the interviewer, who by the way is the girl who plays Uhura in Strange New Worlds, jumps straight in and says, oh yeah, they'll do that. Now, in fairness, the part that's not in this, like, I could have recorded it longer, but I just wanted that part. She does go on to say, not the Uhura actress, but this writer, that she loves that and that it's the fans' right to do that. But it's kind of like, which fan is she talking about at that stage? But in fairness to her, she does say, like, it's their right to it and they love doing it. But they're also kind of taking those shots. You can see that they're taking the shots, which also shows you that it is getting to them. But it goes on, and when you're meant to be being introduced to all these people, and what the first thing they're doing is like taking shots, it's like, yeah, that's not a great introduction to your thing. Now, every question basically as well that gets asked on that carpet is about, you know, what can we expect? And no one answers. They all just go off on these different tangents of crap, and it's like, wow. Like, she literally just said, like, what can you tell us about the show? And you're starting to describe other shows, and it's so bizarre, which you will see in a few minutes with Alex Kurtzman. You know, she asks him, like, about what it took to get the show to there and stuff, and his answer goes on about Strange New Worlds a little bit and stuff, and it's stupid. But let's have a bit of a look at the first part of this article at Screen Rant, that is the review. So it says, when the first poster images for Star Trek Strange New Worlds were released, fans immediately raised concerns about what seemed at first glance like a CW style teeny bopper version of a beloved franchise. 6 of the show's series regulars, all new recruits, all conventionally attractive, entangled in the grass, in an image uncomfortably close to promotional material for Riverdale and the like. Now that's how this article starts off, and it just points out everything that is truly wrong with this stuff. And it doesn't end there, because once you start seeing like a Klingon in a skirt, and you're like, whoa, hold on, pop your brakes. And then you realize the dude playing it he's not just gay, he's very effeminate gay. Do you want to hear how they describe his Klingon? Do you actually want to hear? Because we're all joking saying he's going to be the first gay Klingon. Do you want to hear what their description for him is? Look at this.
Everyone, I am here with one of the stars of Star Trek Starfleet Academy, Karim Diane.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hi, honey. I'm not gonna act like I don't know him and I don't love him. We key in Canada, like it's a party. It's so good to see you.
This is a reunion.
Yes, a reunion
Oh,
long
I love
overdue.
you.
I
you so
love
much.
you, and I'm so proud of you. You are doing incredible work on Starfleet Academy as Jaden, the Klingon who loves bird watching more than battle.
Yep, you heard that right. He's a Klingon who enjoys bird watching more than battle. What? A race of warriors who literally serve their whole life for honor and duty and stuff like that to get to Tovacor. And this dude wants to watch birdies rather than battle. Yeah. And you can just see how he acts. We have more with him, how he describes his character, and it gets worse. It really does. We joke, hey, this might be the first gay Klingon. All likelihood is he's actually going to be the first gay Klingon, because they love trying to be the first to do things. Oh, we're the first that did this. No, you weren't. Okay, but we were the first to do this one in this show. No, you weren't. And that's the issue. A first gay Klingon? Yeah, that would be a first. So the article continues saying, it's hard to fault creator Gaia Viola or showrunners Alex Kurtzman and Noga Lando, or however the hell you pronounce her name, for marketing not under their purview. But, though, it is a fun enough time, and it certainly does read as verviable Trek, it doesn't exactly beat those allegations. In the first 6 episodes of the show's 10-episode first season, teenage cadets get embroiled in petty interpersonal drama, Zakarian romantic entanglements, and Nio exclusively, I think, optimistic team-building exercises where even the most selfish of young men learn the power of teamwork. I like that. The selfishness of young men. Not the selfishness of each different person, but of just young men. So, by the way, young men, gay Klingon, do you think that will be the case? Well, here's how he himself describes his character and Klingons as a whole.
He's a soft-hearted Klingon, sort of course, continuing to shift and change boundaries in the world of entertainment, but also in Star Trek. How do you feel about showing off a new side of what we understand Klingons to be in this franchise?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I know that we're used to seeing Klingons as one way, but Klingons are, diverse people. And they've existed as healers, on the show before, but we haven't really focused in and honed in on it. So I'm really excited to get deeper into this side of this culture. Yeah.
And
so you're just hearing him like, oh, they were healers and stuff. No, they fucking weren't. Where has he ever watched Star Trek? Because he has never watched Star Trek and seen a healer Klingon. No, they have honor, they have rituals and stuff like that, but in terms of being out there as healers, no. Absolutely not the case. Now, this article does kind of go on a bit and tries to kind of make it seem like it's still worth watching and great and stuff, like they're saying. But the show also boasts a solid grasp on what made the original series so special, especially when that optimism is pointed towards socio-political progress, all that type of crap. You're just going, so they don't understand what Star Trek is. And they truly don't, especially when, the creators of this, the showrunners, the producers, Alex Kurtzman and this other dumb bitch, are being interviewed about the show, and they can't even pay attention at the beginning. Trust me, I'm not lying to you. Have a look for yourself.
hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm here with producers Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau. We are here at the Starfleet Academy.
Hi, sorry.
No, you're so fine.
No,
you are so
please.
fine.
I'm yours.
Producers.
So she's literally starting to ask them questions and introduce them and they couldn't even be bothered to pay attention. They're just standing there talking and joking with themselves. It's like, wow, that's really the state of Star Trek. That's who's in charge of Star Trek. Alex Kurtzman is standing there. He's the be-all and end-all right now for Star Trek, and he couldn't even pay attention to being introduced for an interview. It's like, are you kidding me? So, there's another little kind of headline in that article, by the way, says Starfleet Academy is spiritually right at home, but lacking enough compelling characters. That's an issue when you're trying to say it's not terrible, but it's not great either, blah blah. It's just me, is when you're trying to say it still captures what the original series did and stuff, but then you go on to say, yeah, but the characters aren't compelling. Well, then it didn't capture what the original series did. How could it? Because the characters in the original series were very, very much compelling. But do you want to actually now hear what the producers have to say about the show? Especially when you get asked, how excited are you about people finally getting to see the show? And the first response is, I'm excited to see you. Trust me, if you want to see just why Star Trek is in such a dire, bloody need of a full-on reboot and to go to bed for at least the next 7 years, it's responses and reactions like this.
Yeah. How do you feel? Your all these years of hard work that you put in to get the show off the ground and into the hearts and homes of people watching us here on YouTube and live streaming into the studio. How excited are you to finally be here celebrating this momentous occasion?
So excited. I mean, like, words don't describe it, especially because I get to look at you right now. Like, this is amazing. And all the other legacy cast members, it blows my mind. Like, I just met Kate Mulgrew, which is incredible.
My mind blanked out when I met her for the first time. I don't even know if I spoke English. It was very weird.
It was the same. So, I mean, that's very trippy for me. Alex knows everybody and has already done everything.
Yes. Alex Kurtzman, fellow producer, you are no stranger to these sort of events. What specifically about Starfleet Academy are you excited to share with fans at home?
Well, okay, so take Strange, right?
Yep.
So that's a show about characters who, although when we met your character on Strange, it was a little different. But for the most part, if you're a Starfleet officer, you've kind of picked a road, you kind of know who you are.
Yes.
And these kids are at the beginning of that journey in a very different kind of way. So they think they might want to be captains, but then they'll go through Starfleet Academy and realize, no, I don't have what it takes. I'd actually rather be in engineering, or I'd rather anything. There are all of us at a specific age, and we're just figuring out who we are. And that's a beautiful thing, because you don't get to play that very often. I would imagine for you, your episode of like, wait a minute, I think I want to do this, is amazing. You know,
So you can see there that it's like the one girl is kind of more obsessed with talking about seeing the girl who plays Uhura, and Kurtzman wants to talk a little more about Stranger Worlds, rather than actually describing what the show is and what we can expect from it and where it goes. It's just insane. Now, this is also the part which it would have gone too long had we played all of it, where she does bring up the fact that, hey, you're already filming season 2, to which Kurtzman responds like, oh yeah, we're just flying out tomorrow or something to shoot the final episode of that. So they're already gotten that into the bag, and it probably still won't come out until 2028. But that's when she says, well, what can you tell us about season 2, or hint to us? And then she says, or tell us that's not canon in season 2. And then she reverses and goes, actually, just tell us what we can expect from this show. What, in 3 words or less, can you describe this show as? And that's where the female producer calls it sexy and thrilling and stuff. And Kurtzman says emotional and scary. This is why Star Trek is dead. This right here. Everything you've just seen wrong. They did interviews with almost everyone on the red carpet. Do you know who was at that red carpet? Or I should say blue carpet. Kate Mulgrew was there. Robert Picardo, who we know was in the show, was there. And a few other of the original people from real Star Trek were there. They didn't even bother interviewing Robert Picardo, who's in the bloody show, or even have a chat with Kate Mulgrew. But they spoke with everyone from bloody Strange New Worlds that was there. And of course, everyone that's in Starfleet Academy, it's like, wow, so you just went to the new, forget the old. But then you're like, we were so excited to meet Kate Mulgrew for the first time, blah, blah, blah. And I love that response, by the way, from the female producer, when she said, I'm so excited to be here. And she couldn't show any less enthusiasm if she tried. She could be dead on the side of the road and she'd probably show more enthusiasm than to be there at that premiere. But folks, that is why this series is dead on arrival. That is why this franchise is in dire need of a hard reset after the disasters that Kurtzman's been pumping out. But what do you guys think about an effeminate bird-watching Klingon, or a producer who's so excited to talk to a girl from an other series rather than the actual show, or a writer who can't wait to see all the hate that the show gets? Do let me know what you think of all this. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, hit the hype button, all that good stuff. Cheers. I shall catch you in the next one.